We hear a lot of perspectives on the Mankind podcast. Inclusion of a guest is not an endorsement of their views, and the opinions expressed here do not always represent the mission or values of the Mankind Project USA.
What does it mean to truly connect and be love with yourself, with others, especially when the world around you frequently isn't built to include you and often leaves you feeling invisible? Hey, it's Boysen. Welcome back to the Mankind Podcast. This is a space where we explore the many ways men are reshaping what it means to live and lead and love from a place of purpose. Today's guest is Diego Medina. I'm continuing to share stories from the world that's barrier-free. Mankind Project's barrier-free New Warrior training adventure is coming up on May 15th, and there's still time to register. That's outside Prescott, Arizona. The barrier-free movement, as I talked about in my previous episode with Art Patterson, is about providing access to men with all kinds of different abilities. Men like Diego. Diego is 31 years old. He's a storyteller, a speaker, a singer, and a dreamer. He's also been living as a quadriplegic since the age of 7 after a devastating car accident in Southern California changed his family's life forever. Diego was thrown 60 feet, spent months in a coma. But what you're about to hear isn't a story about loss, or not just a story about loss. It's a story about resilience and about devotion and about family, about fierce self-belief, and about love. Diego grew up in a working class immigrant household where love came in the form of sacrifice. A single mom working 2 jobs, brothers helping him get ready for school, a childhood full of teddy bears, toy fire trucks, and a dream of one day working at Disney. Well, that dream has evolved, and so did Diego. Today, he uses his voice to speak on stages, mentor others, and remind all of us that the real barriers we face aren't just physical, they're the limits we place on ourselves and each other. In the conversation, Diego opens up about loneliness, about identity, about what it means to be seen. We'll talk about the power of men's groups, work like that's going on in the Mankind Project, the strength of his mom, and the beauty of learning to love yourself just as you are. It's a conversation about heartbreak, healing, and hope. Welcome to the Mankind Podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's Boysen Hodgson with the Mankind Podcast, the podcast where we set out to prove week on week that there is indeed more than one way to be a man. Today, I'm getting the opportunity to connect with somebody who I've never met before. This is our first meeting, and I've just been hearing about Diego Medina from some other guys that I know and love and trust in the Mankind Project. So I figured I would reach out and create a space for connection. And Diego said that he's an open book. So we're going to see if we can test that at all and learn a bit more about Diego's life. Diego, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Poison, thank you so much for this opportunity. I can't believe it's happening. Right before the air, I told you, I'm not going to say it no more. I'm going to say the opposite. So from now on, I'm saying I can't believe it's happening.
From now on, you can just say that you can believe that it's happening.
With the most humble heart, of course. Always.
Yes. So, Diego, you have a story to tell, and I have read a little bit on your website and of your bio that you just sent to me, and also watched a couple of your videos, including karaoke videos with Diego.
Oh, I love karaoke. It's there's a bar near my house called Silver Fox. Last Monday I went, and I'm gonna make it a tradition. So I'll be at the karaoke bar this Monday.
he'll be at the Silver Fox doing karaoke. So I'm going to give you the floor and have you tell us your story. So tell us about who you are and where you came from and what you're 31 years old. So you're also a pretty young man. Tell us a story.
My name is Diego Fernando Medina Reyes, and I'm blessed to be alive. Life is a roller coaster that sometimes we take for granted. But I've had a really good teacher, a really great person that she's always been there for me, and that's my mom. My mom is absolutely love. She loves to give love and be there for everyone. That's where I come from a place of love, and I want to spread that love. I want to make this a better world for everyone to live in. I know that's a long shot, but you got to start somewhere, and sometimes that somewhere is within yourself. You need to start loving yourself and accepting how you are, because sometimes there's things that you can't change, even if you wanted to. I've been a quadriplegic since the age of 7. And again, life has its ups and downs. I've had ups and downs. But I also think that everything does happen for a reason. I've questioned, why did I end up a quadriplegic? Why do I always have to depend on people? Like, why? We just gotta let it be and enjoy the moment.
Mm.
I graduated in 2017 from Cal State Long Beach, wanting to be an animator. I really wanted to work for Walt Disney Studios Animation, but life had other plans for me. After I graduated, I took an online course just to prove to myself that I really couldn't do animation. It was frustrating, so I kind of gave up on it.
Mm.
And I don't want to say I gave up on it. It just was not my thing. But wasn't meant for me. So I started getting into acting a little bit, took some acting classes. I'm a big drama queen. I love storytelling and all that. Um, and then that led me to public speaking. And honestly, I could say I have found my voice. I have found my purpose.
Mm.
I think public speaking is what I am meant to do. Actually, a lot of people that meet me, they're like, "Oh, I see you. I see you talking in front of an audience." And in my mind, I would always be like, "You guys are crazy." But now I can believe it. I do see them.
So I imagine the fact that you have had folks tell you that they can see you up on stage and see you as a public speaker means that you have been sharing your story with others and what it means to have grown up paraplegic. Give us a little bit of background story on the kinds of things, the kinds of challenges that you've had to face and how you've maintained the outlook that you've maintained, that it's all love and that you want to spread love and build more love.
How open can we get? No, life for me has been different. Now that I'm an adult, like would say starting like around 25, 26, it leaned more into like my sexual life. But in my adolescence, one of the things that would limit me is my voice. I have a low voice and I'm working on it. But it will kill me not to have friends, feel lonely. I don't know, not feeling like I could really enjoy high school like the rest of the kids. One thing that killed me was like I would always have to leave class early just to go to the school bus. And all I wanted is to just stay till the bell rang. That for me, it's what I wanted. But I never got that. My childhood was very full of love. And I think that's where the foundation for who I am today began. Because my mom would always make every day exciting, full of love. I remember that I had like 3 birthday parties after my injury, and one of them was some guy with some pets came. He brought out a big old snake, and I had my mom put it around her. she loves me that much that she was willing to do that. I put it around myself too. I know how much my mom loves. She's everything to me.
Yeah, I hear that. Have there been any examples of folks who have shown up in your life who have really, on the one hand, really gotten it and really created space for you and been with you in spaces that made you feel a sense of belonging and welcoming? And were there other times when you found yourself in situations where people really didn't create a sense of belonging or a sense of place for you?
I'm sure, there's people that really don't care. And I haven't had many of those experiences, but
Mm,
mostly wherever I go, people are welcoming, and helpful. Um, I remember one day at Cal State, because that's one of the things that I told myself. I'm like, I'm gonna do college
yeah.
all on my own. Like, I didn't have a one-to-one aide. Well, sometimes my nurses would go with me, but for the most part, I did college all on my own. And there was this one rainy day as I was exiting the library, my wheels got stuck. The plastic rugs that are placed by the wheels. Yeah, well, my wheels got really stuck and I couldn't move. And I was all by myself and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? People saw me. I had to be vulnerable. And they helped me. I think around five guys came and like actually lifted my wheelchair. And yeah, they got me going. It's just when people want to help, whether they want to be nice or not, just helping the fellow man or fellow brother, and that's all I want to do, just make this a better world. Life has given me so much that at times I do feel guilty. I'm like, why do I have it so well that, I mean, given the circumstances, but I mean, I'm blessed to have the people I have in my life and to live the way I live, and I just want to pay it forward.
Mm. Thank you. So what I hear you saying is that your general experience has been that people are willing to help and people are willing to be kind and lean in, and that you want to help create more of that in the world.
People are just afraid.
Say more about that.
I know people are willing to help, but they let their insecurities get in their way. I keep using this as an example, but I just still can't get over it. The neighbor invited us to a party, and someone literally asked my mom in front of me, what does he want to drink? I hate when people don't acknowledge that I'm there. And it's not with just him, it's with my mom, it's with my nurses, it's with everyone. I'm like, can you ask me? You know I have to talk, you know? And sometimes that makes me feel so invisible
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a world where I'm not, where I know I'm not invisible. And that makes me feel even worse.
Yeah. Thank you. You expressed a lot of love. So you have a love of art. You do artwork.
Oh, I love my
You have a love of music. You do singing. Is there anything that you have as kind of words of wisdom for others out there about just going for it? Because that's how I see you, is you're a guy who just goes for it.
And you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I always go for it. I have my own limits where I'm trying to work on them. But don't let your limits or the limits that you think you have hold you back. Life is beautiful. Life is short. Enjoy it while you can, because you never know tomorrow.
Yeah. So you've engaged with some work with the Mankind Project over the course of the last year and met some guys with MKP. Would you be willing to share some of what the experiences was like going through like the 10-week Circle of Men training that you did with the Mankind Project?
Oh, Mike, well, I love that guy. So back in April, I finished my circle of men. We're called the Mankind Brothers. Like in July, and then in October, I got a call, and I never really answered my phone. But I answered my phone. It was Mike. And he's like, we want to work with you and stuff. co-facilitator. I was like, I'm I'm down. So we started the container, I think, in October 15th, and yeah, it was a great experience. Because it was the same process that I went through.
Yeah.
I had different facilitators, and they were the one that referred me, I believe, to Mike, and everything happened for a reason, and yeah, it's I just still can't I can't believe it.
You can. Yes.
I was almost gonna slip out, but I can't believe it. I'm here for a reason,
Yeah.
and so is everyone. Everyone has a purpose.
What would you say about the idea of being in a space with other guys where the intention is actually to connect around stuff that's a little bit deeper than, what guys might connect about out there in the world? Do you enjoy the experience of being in a container with guys who are actually talking about what's really going on in their lives?
Oh, I love it. It's also what I'm meant for. I'm also on another group of men called Father, Sons, Brothers.
Oh,
Shout out to them. Um, and together, Mankind Project and Father, Sons, Brothers have been a major life changing in my life, and,
yeah.
and that means the world to me, especially because I've always wanted a father figure.
Hmm.
My father walked out on me twice, so.
Has the experience of being in Father, Sons, Brothers and Mankind Project given you some of that kind of connection with
Oh,
other men?
100%. Yeah.
You found your voice. You've said that already. Have you discovered inside of yourself? Because my guess is that Mike Marino heard from somebody that there was this dude named Diego, and Diego had leadership qualities that uh, we wanted around. Is there an aspect of this that you have started to embrace some leadership qualities in yourself?
I feel like I am. I'm making changes within myself. I consider myself to be humble. Like and that's why I'm repeating myself. I can't believe it. You know, just being a leader. The word leader for me is guiding someone and being there for them. I'm still working on being the leader that I am. That
Mm,
That's how I'm gonna just say it. I'm working on the leader that I know I am.
thank you.
That you have to do the work every single day.
Mm.
Work on yourself every single day. And actually that's what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. To today, like this is the opportunity right here. It's like I can't believe it's happening.
Thank you. There's a growing group in the Mankind Project that call themselves the Barrier Free Movement, which is the idea that men's work, what we do here when we get together in circles and when we get together in trainings, either in person or online, that we can create spaces for men with all kinds of different abilities to do the work together and be part of the community. I think it's a commitment from the Mankind Project to become a more accessible organization. What do you think would make the world a better place? You want the world to be a better place. You were a paraplegic man since age 7.
Yes.
What would you like the world to see, do, be to make the world more accessible and more loving for all of us?
Just try to always understand others. We're all going through stuff. But when we really understand others, I think that's what makes a difference. For me, it's like when I go to, let's say, the doctors, and in the lobby room, there's all chairs. There's like no room for like a wheelchair. You know, like I just want to be part of the people sitting in the lobby. Having them understand that of me, like I've got like yesterday that my mom made me go to mass. Um, one of the I think it's called pews.
Mm-hmm.
it actually had a spot for a wheelchair. I'm like, see? And it was towards the back. I had my nurse take a picture of it. I'm like, even the church, uh, that meant the world to me, like having them understand me, be more accessible for everyone, I yeah, that's just understand one another more and more.
Yes. And I keep learning, trying to learn to ask. That's the thing that I've been told repeatedly is like, hey, if you want to learn more about somebody, you gotta ask. It isn't about forcing my way into anything or assuming anything, but it's about stopping to ask, hey, what do you need? I'm
Yeah,
not going to assume that you need something from me, but I can ask you what you need.
exactly.
What are you looking forward to? What else are you looking forward to these days?
I'm working with like another group in Spanish because my next goal is to take a speech and do it in Spanish as well because I want to reach people, and I want to reach my Spanish speaking community. So I did my first speech last Friday, the 28th at the Aurora Theater, and it went super well. But I'm ready for more, I'm ready to spread that love and make a difference. So my next goal is that to do one in Spanish, and I'm hopeful I'm going to do it in June. Yeah, so right now I'm taking like courses online and just improving myself, being the best version of myself every day.
Nice. And singing as much as you can.
Yes, I love singing. Oh, today's Monday. Actually, I'm going tonight. Yep, I'll be at the Silver Fox.
Back to the Silver Fox and tell me what's going to be on the list. Do you have
Uh,
any you have go-tos?
yeah, I want to do Jesus Take the Wheel by Carrie Underwood. And then friend, I think it's called Friend Like Me from Monsters Inc.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know, we'll see one more other songs.
We'll see one more other songs. And are you planning on staying engaged with the circle of men and the facilitators that you keep? You told me that you're the circle of men group that you went through with, you're still meeting with. What's it like to get together with a circle of men on a regular basis?
I love it, I've always wanted to be part of a fraternity when I was in
Uh,
I never got to be a part of a fraternity, but this kind of feels like a fraternity, Um, too bad it's online. Um, but actually two of the members are live near me.
oh, cool.
So I've met with them, and with one of them I became really, really good. And then yeah, we hang out more often. But it's nice. I love it,
That's
and
awesome.
knowing I was able to help another group of men form, that felt really good too.
And you're going to keep doing that.
Yes, yeah. If the opportunity's there, I'll do it.
That's very cool. So, what else do you want to make sure that you get out into this space to share with listeners for the Mankind podcast?
To practice self-love too. To not forget that if you want change, it all starts with you. With you meaning oneself. Like you always have to practice self-love because I think we as men sometimes wanna always be there to help others. And yeah, that's very kind and everything, but sometimes we forget about ourselves. And that's something that I'm doing more. I feel more self-confident and I'm loving it.
Do you have any go-to practices for uh, developing more self-love?
Just having the right people sometimes helps a lot. But I do meditation, um, breath work also helps a lot.
Mm,
I mean, I'm a nudist, so I like being naked whenever I can. That feels really freeing. And just loving your body, loving how you look and who you are, because everything is perfect. It really, really is. It's just sometimes we get in our heads, we tell ourselves stories that, what is this? What if this? What if that? And sometimes we forget to just enjoy. Even I forget. But
Thank
life
you.
can be so easy, so beautiful, and just enjoy it.
Sounds simple. It's
Not
not
simple,
easy.
not at all. It's a work in progress. Every day it's a work in progress.
Yes.
But it does sound simple. You're right.
Yeah. Sounds simple, but it's not easy
Nope.
to keep doing that. Diego, it's really good to meet you, brother. And I'm
Likewise. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes. Excellent. Well, it's very nice to meet you. And thank you for taking the opportunity to spread the love to the Mankind podcast.
Thank you.
And listeners, keep an ear out.
This has been the
For
Mankind podcast, produced in
Yeah.
association with the Mankind Project USA. And of course, I want to thank you, the listener, because through your attention and your support, you make it a heck of a lot easier for us to let men out there in the world know that they are not alone and that there is more than one way to be a man. And if you've been enjoying the music throughout this episode and all of our episodes, check out Jim, Donovan, and the Sun King Warriors. I have links to them in the show notes. Now, the fee for this episode is simple. If you found gold and insights that you believe could benefit your loved ones and those you care about, be sure to share it with them. And of course, remember that life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us, so long as we rip the pen out of fate's hand and become the author of our own story. So, my friend, pick up the pen, and we'll see you next week. Lots of love.
Hey, it's Boysen. On the Mankind podcast, we've brought some incredible guests on to talk about the importance of doing the work to improve our mental and emotional health. And here's the truth. Multiple times over the last 25 years, I've had the help of one-on-one work with some amazing therapists. For me, for my wife, for both of us as adoptive parents, and for our kids. The Mankind Project and Men's Group, though awesome, are not a substitute for professional mental health support. And so I'm thrilled that the Mankind Podcast now has BetterHelp as a sponsor for the show. BetterHelp works online. It asks you what you're working on and then matches you for live one-on-one sessions with a licensed therapist, someone trained to work with you, listen, and offer helpful insights. I'm using BetterHelp. It's super easy, and I like what I'm getting. If getting one-on-one support in the comfort of your own space feels like a good direction for you, I invite you to check it out. Go to the link in the show notes or betterhelp.com/mankind. And if you sign up, you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy.